Every Naruto fan knows that each Hokage has something unique that they contributed to the village and built a legacy on, but unfortunately, if you've only watched the anime, you might be completely unaware as to what both Hokage Kakashi and Naruto as Hokage have done in their times in terms of the marks that they left behind on the village and the impacts they've had on the village. It's more easy to say, hey, they were the first two Hokage to run the village during the time of peace. I've talked in great length in video essays like the Hokage Legacy videos, where we looked in depth at Hokages 1 through 6 about their legacies, but in today's video, I want to put in perspective just how much Kakashi as the 6th Hokage and Naruto as the 7th Hokage have changed the village for the better, and why, due to how Kakashi being a bridge for Naruto's Hokage, their legacies, in a way, they're almost intertwined and likely to go down as the best 2 Hokage in the village's history. Now, I know those are very strong words, especially if you think someone like Tobirama was the best Hokage, but this video should give you a different perspective in order to view things and restart the debates on who the best Hokage is for anyone who watches this video. So we learn more of how Kakashi and Naruto are viewed and different from the other Hokage in the story Naruto Retsuden, the 7th Hokage and the Spiral of Destiny, which is set in the Boruto era after the events of the Kakashi Retsuden and Sasuke Retsuden stories, which the latter was adapted into the anime and even got a manga and Kakashi's story I've covered in a playlist from start to finish here on the channel. In the scene we're going to go over, we see Naruto spending time with one of the scientists who grew up too young to remember the events of the Pain arc, where Naruto first got hailed as the hero of the village and was too young to remember the events of the 4th Ninja War. To her, those events were things that she just saw on television for specials and read about in books because she was too young to know and understand what happened during that time. The same way some of you guys might view 9/11, where the Twin Towers were attacked in New York City. But for me, it's something I remember being in math class and watching the news report on it with my teacher and seeing one of my classmates named Sam run out of the classroom because his brother worked at the Pentagon. That's kind of how Naruto feels when he realizes the woman he's speaking to views the Pain invasion in the 4th Ninja War in a very similar way as a lot of you guys would view 9/11, versus him being someone who actually lived through it. Well, upon hearing this, Naruto is then told about the significance of what Kakashi's done as Hokage and what Naruto's currently doing as Hokage from someone who came of age during Kakashi's run as Hokage and is now working on a Naruto, pointing things out that Naruto himself took for granted because he lived through those changes and had seen more than his fair share of things growing up, from fighting the Akatsuki members to this point in the timeline, having saved the world from Kaguya and Toneri and Momoshiki. So the things she's talking about isn't something Naruto sits back and says like, yeah, this is actually kind of cool right here. I did something special. But that's not to say Naruto's not aware of some of the changes he's made as Hokage, but he hasn't looked at things from her perspective yet. And the reason why is that things that might not seem like a big deal to Naruto are life-changing things in the eyes of Amano, the female scientist who Naruto's speaking to. So with the scene in the context being set, it's here I'm going to begin reading the scene from the novel, then I'm going to come back to you guys my thoughts, and it's here I'm going to begin quoting. "I'm the one that thank you," Amano said as she looked at Naruto's facial expression. "The hero who protected the lives of so many people. After all, he probably doesn't even know what he's done beyond the battlefield. Scientists from the 5 great nations can devote themselves to research only because the ninja wars have ended. She could barely remember Pain's invasion or the 4th Ninja War. She only had vague memories of being taken by her parents to evacuate somewhere. When she became an adult, she saw the TV specials and the magazines that looked back on those days, and it was then she realized how serious of a situation it had been. She had no idea she was being protected as a young girl. Amano had stayed home while the 5 nations were fighting and the shinobi were dying to protect the villages. She disassembled light bulbs for fun, read science books to pass the time, all by herself. She had lived her life being covered by people like Naruto, who protected her from the horrors of the ninja world. She was certain many children who are now adults that were her age felt the same way as her. I'm not too familiar with shinobi, but I know that there are 2, by far the most powerful human beings who have ever existed amongst the shinobi. One of them is you, and the other is Sasuke Uchiha. The reason why the 5 nations were able to stop the wars is because you two fought to bring the peace we enjoy today. The 6th Hokage focused more on developing the economy than the military, the exact opposite of the 5th Hokage, who focused solely on the military. It was very difficult to adjust under Lord Six, but it became a success as time passed. Lord Six's decisions acted as a deterrent to war, leading the villages to demilitarize and lower their military budgets. Lord Six built the peace of the present by making good use out of economic development, Amano said. That's right, Kakashi Sensei was an amazing Hokage, Naruto said, nodding proudly. Amano was looking at Naruto, realizing he didn't understand what she meant. He was better than the previous Hokage, all of the Hokage. Before the reign of Lord Six, chakra was only used as a tool in battle for a very long time. It was an era when protecting the village and the country was the highest order, but now it's different. Modern scientists can devote themselves to only their research. Our research results aren't being judged on whether or not they're useful tools of war. Many scientists, myself included, are grateful to you for creating this piece, Amano said. End quote. So right here, we can see how Kakashi is both viewed for focusing on the economy and upholding the peace, as well as making sure that the economy of Konoha was growing to a level where they could pour more resources into helping the villagers lead more convenient lives and give scientists free room to devote their time to research for the betterment of the people. But under Kakashi, that was a transition phase. There were some, like the Anbu from the Sakura Hida novel Love Riding the Spring Breeze, who were upset over the prospect of losing funds to things like revamping Konoha's hospital and medical system to be of better use to all the villagers and not be something that had shinobi getting first priority because Sakura oversaw more civilian-based services. However, under Naruto, when Kakashi gave him the reins as Hokage, the bad seeds and the old dogs of war, they've all been removed from power, and Kakashi handed Naruto a booming economy that had technology running, and Naruto's given scientists free reign to use technology without strings attached under the condition that what's being made helps the village in the short term, like say the Thunder Train, and helps the next generation as well. The laid-back atmosphere that Naruto has created as Hokage is something that has inspired scientists like Amano to work even harder underneath Naruto than they did under Kakashi, because in their eyes, a man who saved the world multiple times, who could have every right to ask for more military work, has said that power means nothing if the people I'm protecting aren't happy and comfortable. And because they see that side of Naruto, they've been inspired to work harder. It's one thing to see the glorious battles we saw in Naruto and the over-the-top battles we saw in Naruto Shippuden, and look at this piece that we've seen in Boruto's generation grow up with, but it's another thing to hear it from the people who lived under Kakashi and Naruto civilians, what they have to say about them as Hokage. And that's where I'm going to turn things over to you guys. Where do you guys rank Naruto and Kakashi now as Hokage in terms of contributions to the village? While you think that over, click here to watch the rest of these Naruto Retsuden videos in the playlist you see on the screen right now.